Good morning, children. Today we are going to start a new chapter, that is aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids. So first we are going to study the nomenclature of aldehydes and ketones. Before we start the nomenclature of aldehydes and ketones, we will see what are carbonyl compounds. Because aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids are known as carbonyl compounds. What do you mean by carbonyl compounds? All those compounds which contain carbonyl group is called as carbonyl compounds. Then what do you mean by carbonyl group? That is C double bond O group is called as carbonyl group. This can also be written as CO condensed formula. And what does these two lines represent? They are known as free valencies. So C double bond O with two free valencies. So all those compounds which contain carbonyl group or C double bond O group will be called as carbonyl compounds. Aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids are examples of carbonyl compounds. Now, we will see few examples of carbonyl compounds. After that, we will study the nomenclature. So, what are the examples of carbonyl compounds? So, this is the first example of a carbonyl compound with C double bond O, H and an alkyl group. C double bond O H functional group is known as aldehyde. So, this can also be written as RCHO, and this class of compounds are known as aldehydes. So, here surrounded by CO group, one is hydrogen and one is alkyl group. So, the first example for a carbonyl compound is aldehyde. The second example is if the CO group, if it is surrounded by two alkyl groups, then it will be called as ketones. Then, if the C double bond O group, if it is surrounded by one alkyl group and one halogen atom, then it can be also called as can also be written as RCOX, known as acyl halides or acid chlorides. So, aldehydes, ketones, acyl halides or acid chlorides. The next example is if the C double bond O group, if it is surrounded by one alkyl group and one OH, then it will be called as what is RCOOH, that is carboxylic acids. Okay, that is the next example for a carbonyl compound. The next is if the C double bond O group, if it is surrounded by an alkyl group and one NH2 group, NH2 group is known as amino group, and this functional group is called as amide group. This can also be written as RCONH2. What is RCONH2 group? Class of compounds known as amides. Now, the next example is if the C double bond O group, if it is surrounded by one alkyl group and one OR group, this can also be written as RCOOR. The class of compound is esters. Now, another very common example for carbonyl compound is anhydrides. What is anhydride general formula? We have already studied in class 11. RCOOCOR. This can also be written as RCO twice O. This is acid anhydride. So these are the common examples for carbonyl compounds: aldehydes, ketones, acids, esters, amides, acid chlorides, acid anhydrides, etc. Now we will see the nomenclature of aldehydes and ketones first. We know the basic rules for assigning or when we write the UPSC name of an organic compound. When we get an organic compound, the first rule is select the longest carbon chain containing functional group. And the most important thing is, in this chapter we are studying about aldehydes, ketones and acids. These are the functional groups containing carbon. So when we do the naming of an organic compound containing such functional groups, that means containing carbon atom, when we select the longest carbon chain or the parent chain, that carbon also should be included in the parent chain. So the first rule is select the longest carbon chain containing functional group, and if there is a carbon containing functional group, select the longest carbon chain containing functional group. Okay, and the next rule is from the parent chain we can write the word root. Okay, so what is the format of writing the UPSC name? First we are writing the word root. Then after that, along with the word root, we are writing the primary suffix. Then we will write the secondary suffixes if any. Then write, if there is any other functional groups present, write the prefixes. So if there is any prefixes to write the prefixes in alphabetical order. This is the basic format to write the UPSC name of an organic compound. Now we will see few examples. And you know that what is the suffix for an aldehyde? It is al. And if it is a ketone, what is the suffix we are using? Yes, it is on. And when aldehyde and ketone, when they come as prefixes, the prefix that we use for aldehyde and ketone, for both we are using the same prefix, that is oxo. So remember, al is the suffix that we are using for aldehyde, on is the suffix that we are using for a ketone, and when aldehyde and ketone come as prefixes, we know that when this aldehyde and ketones are coming as prefixes, because if there is any other functional group having higher priority than aldehyde and ketone, that means if there is any acid group, isn't it? So when aldehyde or ketone, when they come as prefixes for both functional groups, the same prefix we are using, that is oxo. Okay. Now we will see the examples for writing the UPSC names. First one is, before you start studying the UPSC naming, every time revise the priority order. Okay. Now, there is one more thing that you have to remember. When an aldehyde group, if it is attached to a ring, for example, what is this compound? We know that the very familiar benzaldehyde. When CHO group is attached to any ring system, we can use the word carbaldehyde instead of al. So, this is actually benzaldehyde, can also be called as benzene carbaldehyde, because when CHO group, if it is attached to a ring system, we can use the term carbaldehyde. How to write the carbaldehyde name? After the complete name of the ring. So here the ring is benzene ring. So what is the another name for benzaldehyde? The ring name is benzene. So it is benzene carbaldehyde. So remember, when CHO group, if it is attached to any ring system, we can use the term carbaldehyde after the complete name of the ring. Another example for such a system is how we can do the naming of this compound. Here also CHO group is attached to which, what is the ring here? Cyclohexane ring, isn't it? So how we can do the name or IUPAC name of this compound? Cyclohexane. Write the complete name of the ring and after that write carbaldehyde. So we can write it as cyclohexane carbaldehyde, or as we know can also be called as cyclohexanal. This is a new concept we are studying this year. In 11th standard we didn't study this. So remember, carbaldehyde term we are using when CHO group is attached to any ring system. Okay. Now the second example for IUPAC naming. How we can do the naming of this compound? Apply the first rule. What is the first rule? Select the longest carbon chain containing functional group. Okay, this is the longest carbon chain here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the straight chain is the longest or the parent chain. Now, after selecting the parent chain, what is the second rule? Number the carbon atoms present in the longest carbon chain or parent chain. Now, when we number the carbon atoms, you have to remember one thing. The functional group attached carbon or the carbon with branches should get the lowest possible number. So, the straight chain is the longest chain here. So, from where should we start the numbering? From right to left. Now, we can start the naming. From this number, we can write the word root. Here we have 7 carbon atoms. What is the word root for 7 carbon atom? It is hept. That is the word root. Now write the primary suffix. What is the primary suffixes we are using? ANE, ENE or YNE. So to write the primary suffix, you have to check in the parent chain. So in the parent chain, check whether all the carbon atoms are singly bonded or if there is any double bond or triple bond. So here all these 7 carbon atoms are singly bonded. So we can write the primary suffix as ANE. Now See what are the functional groups present here. One is aldehyde, one is bromine, and here there is one methyl group that is not a functional group, that is only a substituent or branch, isn't it? So here we have only two functional groups. One is bromine. As we know, halogens will never come as suffix, they will go as prefixes only. Then the only other functional group is aldehyde, so definitely that will go as suffix. So how to write, what is the suffix for aldehyde? It is al, and how we are writing the suffix? By removing the last e. So word root ready, primary suffix, secondary suffix. Now we have to write only the prefixes. Here we have two prefixes, that is one is bromine and one is methyl group. So prefixes we have to write in the alphabetical order. So bromine or methyl, which will come first according to the alphabetical order? Definitely bromine. So whenever we write the name of any functional group or suffixes, we have to mention the position. So what is the position of bromine here? It is 4. After the number put hyphen, 4 bromo. First letter should be capital letter, 4 bromo. Then methyl group is in third carbon, so it is after the name put hyphen. Always between name and number put hyphen. So 3 methyl. Between methyl and hept there should not be any space in between. Okay. So the name is 4 bromo 3 methyl heptanal. Remember, the first letter should be a capital letter. Now next compound. Apply the rules. Here only one chain we have, so as usual try to number the carbon atoms. How can we number this chain? The rule is the functional group or the substituent carbon should get any branch. The carbon containing branches should get the lowest possible number. So how should we name this? From right to left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from this number we can write the word root. So here what is the word root corresponding to 5? It is pent. Now write the primary suffix ane, ene or yne. Check this 5 carbon atoms. Are they all singly bonded? No. There is one double bond. If there is at least one double or at least one triple bond, what is the suffix we are using? Yes, it is ene or yne. So here we have one double bond. So the suffix is, primary suffix is ene. But we have to mention the position. What is the position of double bond here? Between 2 and 3. Between second and third carbon atom. So the position of double bond will be 2-ene. Then which are the other functional groups present here? Only one aldehyde is present. So that will go as primary suffix. So what is the position of aldehyde? It is on first carbon. So 1 al. So no need to mention. If the position is 1, no need to write. So it is ene 1 al, or we can write it as enal. There is no other prefixes to write, isn't it? So first letter should be capital. So what is the name of this compound? It is pent-2-enal. Next compound. Here. Is it a chain? No, it is not a chain compound, it is a ring compound. So identify the parent. What is the parent here? What is the parent carbon or parent ring here? It is a cyclopentane ring, isn't it? So the word root is not pent, it is cyclopent. Cyclopentane is the parent. Okay. Now apply the rule. Number the, when we get a compound containing ring, either we can do numbering on the ring or we can do the numbering in the chain. There is no numbering starting from the ring and proceeding towards the chain, and we cannot do numbering starting from the chain and going towards ring. So either do the numbering on the ring or in the chain or branch. So here the functional group is present as ketone. We know that it is C double bond O, and the functional group is present in the ring. So we have to do the numbering on the ring. Now apply the rule. The functional group or the branches should get the lowest possible number. So 1, 2, 3. So cyclopentane is the parent. Keto group is on the first carbon. So it is remove the last E and write cyclopentane 1 on, or it is same as cyclopentanone. Now we have one methyl group as a branch that will go as prefix. So the name of the compound is, the position of methyl group is on third carbon. So the name of the compound is 3-methyl. First letter should be capital, so C will go as small letter. So what is the name of this compound? It is 3-methyl cyclopentanone. Okay. Now the next compound is I will give you an example for a compound containing ring and chain. Okay. So C double bond O, CH2, CH3. Here, where will you do the naming? If you are doing, where will you do the numbering? If you are doing numbering on the ring, the functional group is present outside the ring, isn't it? So will this carbon get a number? No. If there is a carbon containing functional group, definitely that carbon should get a number. So here, where should we put the number? Outside the ring, that means on the chain we have to put the number. Now apply the rule. Functional group or branched carbon should get the lowest possible number. So 1, 2, 3. Now we know that here benzene is not included as the parent. So when this ring comes as the parent, it will be called as benzene, or when this ring or when benzene ring come as a branch or as a substituent, it will be called as phenyl group. Okay. So what is the name of this compound? 1, 2, 3 carbon. So the word root is prop. These 3 carbon atoms are singly bonded. Always check the parent chain only. So here the parent chain is with the 3 carbon atoms. 3 carbon atoms are singly bonded. So primary suffix is ane. Now ketone is the functional group. So the primary suffix will be one. Ketone position is in the first carbon. So it will be propan 1 on, or it will be same as propanone. Okay. Now there is one branch or substituent on the first carbon, that is phenyl group. So it is 1-phenyl. Between this L and P there should not be any gap. So what is the name of this compound? 1-phenyl propanone, or simply we can write it as phenyl propanone, because if the number is 1, no need to specify it. Next example is now mark this as a very important question. Here also we have a compound in straight chain. Now we have to number this chain. How should we number it? From right to left, because the functional group is on the right hand side, that should get the lowest possible number. So I am numbering from right side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many carbon atoms in the parent chain? 5. So the word root is pent. And these 5 carbon atoms are singly bonded, so the primary suffix will be ane. Now, which are the functional groups present here? We have aldehyde group as well as keto group. When there is more than one functional group in a compound, we have to check the priority order. So, aldehyde and ketone, when we compare the priority, which has highest priority? Aldehyde. So, aldehyde will go as suffix and the low priority functional group will be mentioned as prefix. Okay, so it is, so aldehyde will go as suffix. If aldehyde come as suffix, what will be the suffix we are using? Al. So it is pentan. Aldehyde group is on first carbon. So by removing that E, we can write it as pentan 1-al or pentanal. Now ketone must go as prefix. There is no other functional group or no other prefixes. So we have to mention only about ketones. So on third carbon is the keto group. So when aldehyde and ketones, when they come as prefixes, we are using the common term, that is oxo group. So how we can write the name of this compound as? It is 3-oxo. Point clear? So 3-oxopentanal, that is the name of this compound. Mark it as very important. Now another example is okay, it is a ring compound. So we have to do the numbering on the ring. How to number? Here we have aldehyde and bromine. So the functional group should get the lowest possible number. So bromine and aldehyde is also there. So either we can start from bromine or we can start from aldehyde. So from where should we start actually? The highest priority functional group should get the lowest possible number. So I have to, or we have to start numbering from the CHO attached carbon. So we have to go in the clockwise direction, otherwise bromine will be getting a large number. So how to write the name of this compound as? The parent chain is benzene. So it is benzene. Functional group is aldehyde. So it is benzene. Either you can write it as benzene carbaldehyde or benzaldehyde. Now we have one prefix also, bromine. Halogens will be always mentioned as prefixes. So it is 3 and the bromine is on third carbon. So it is 3-bromo. So this B will go as small letter. So what is the name of this compound? It is 3-bromo benzene carbaldehyde. Now another very important compound to write the UPSC name. Here we have 3 aldehyde groups. So according to the usual rule, we have to select the longest carbon chain containing functional group and we have to number in such a way that the functional group attached carbon should get the lowest possible number. But if we are applying that rule here, this carbon will be number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First aldehyde will be getting number 1, last aldehyde will be getting 2, 3, 4, number 5, and this will be out of the parent chain, so that will go as a branch or substituent. But how can we consider 3 functional groups with same priority? The 3 groups are same groups having same priority, one with lowest possible number with higher priority, the one with least possible number, and the other one considering as a branch or substituent. So, remember, when such cases are coming, to give identical priority, no need to consider these three groups. So, consider the other carbon atoms as the parent. So, we have to give number only here 1, 2, 3. So, the name will be 1, 2, 3 means word root is prop. That 3 carbon atoms are singly bonded, so it is propane. Propane. What about the position of 3 CHO group? One is on first carbon, then second carbon, third carbon. So, and the functional group is aldehyde. The suffix is al. So, how we can write that suffix as? It is propane 1, 2, 3 trial. Remember, when we are using di or tri along with the suffixes, we have to retain the e, which we are writing along with the primary suffix. So, when there is di or tri coming with the secondary suffix, retain the e. So, it is propane 1, 2, 3 trial. First letter should be capital. So, name ready. Now, note down. So, hope the UPSC naming is clear to you. Now, note down few structures of organic compounds which we are commonly using in this chapter. Okay. The first one is, as we studied earlier, it is benzene ring containing CHO. Already we discussed, that is benzaldehyde, or we can call it as benzene carbaldehyde. Okay. The second one is, the very common reagent that we are using is CH3CHO, that is acetaldehyde. Write all these compounds structure along with their names inside a box. Okay. Benzaldehyde, very common reactant we are using, acetaldehyde. Then the other one is acetone. That is a common term we are using, CH3COCH3, acetone, or we can call it as, the UPSC name is propanone. Okay, remember benzaldehyde, acetaldehyde, acetone. Then the next is acetic anhydride. Acetic anhydride, what is the formula? We have already studied in 11th standard, CH3CO, OCO, CH3, or we can write it as CH3CO twice O. What is the name of this compound? It is acetic anhydride. Before we start the reaction, you have to study the formula or formulas of all these compounds. Without studying all these structures and names, don't start studying the reactions. So, acetic anhydride, and the next one is acetophenone. All these we have already studied in 11th standard. So, acetophenone is benzene, then COCH3. How we can remember the acetophenone structure? One side of keto group is benzene and the other side of keto group is methyl group. This is acetophenone. And the last compound that you have to remember is benzophenone. What is benzophenone formula? Benzene ring, CO, again benzene ring. That means, compare acetophenone and benzophenone structure. One side of CO group is benzene and the other side is methyl group, that is for acetophenone. On either side of keto group, if it is a benzene ring, we can call it as benzophenone. How we can write the molecular formula of this? C6H5 COC6H5. Okay, both are same. This is the structural formula and this is the molecular formula. Same way acetophenone, how we can write the molecular formula? C6H5 COCH3. So remember this. So these structures starting from benzaldehyde onwards keep it inside a box. Before you start the reaction, study all these structures along with their names. Now, next we have how we can write the structure of an organic compound from the IUPAC name. That is very easy to write. We know that writing IUPAC name is more difficult than to write the structure. Structure of organic compounds, it is easy to write. So, we will see only few examples. The first one, 3-hydroxy butanol. What is the rule for writing the IUPAC? What is the rule for writing the structure of an organic compound? First, identify the word root from the name. What is the word root here? But. Okay, so first write 4 carbon atoms. After identifying the word root, write the number of carbon atoms and put the number. Continuous number 1, 2, 3, 4. Then write all the suffixes. What is the primary suffix here? ANE. That means these 4 carbon atoms are singly bonded. Now, what is the secondary suffix here? Al. The position is not mentioned, so it is 1 al. That means it doesn't mean that on the first carbon atom there is CHO. So, don't do this mistake. If we are writing one CHO on first carbon atom, what happens to the number of carbon atoms? Instead of 4, it will be 4 plus 1, 5. Number of carbon atoms increases. So, here what is the meaning? 1 al means the first carbon is CHO. Understood? Now, word root suffix is over. Now, write the prefixes. 3-hydroxy. Hydroxy is the prefix that we are using for OH group. So, that is on which carbon? Third carbon. Now, remaining valencies we have to satisfy with hydrogen. So, CH2, CH, CH3. Okay, it's very simple. So, start from word root, then suffixes, then write the prefixes, structure finished. So, we will see 2 more examples. Number 2, 4-fluoroacetophenone. This is why I told you to study the structures first. Okay, because that common names will be here and there we will be using throughout this chapter. Okay, so here do we have any word root? No, but we can identify the parent. How we can identify the parent of a compound? Just like our name, so see the end of the name. So here what is the end of the name? It is acetophenone. So who's the parent here? Acetophenone. So first write the structure of acetophenone. Acetophenone, what is the structure? On one side of CO group it is benzene ring and the other side is CH3 group. Now, after writing parent or word root, the next rule is put the number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, what we have on the fourth carbon, fourth position of this ring, we have one fluorine, which is the fourth position, there is the para position. Okay, structure, right. Now, next example is 4-methyl pent 3-ene-2-one. Okay, how we can write this structure of this compound? Identify the word root. It is pent. Pent means how many carbon? 5 carbon. Write 5 carbon continuously. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After writing 5 carbon, put number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now write the suffixes. What is the first suffix here? We have 3-ene. That means there is one double bond between third and 4 carbon. Now 2-one. On is a suffix we are using for ketone. As I told you, like aldehyde, 2-on doesn't mean that there is one keto group on second carbon. What does it mean? Second carbon is keto group. If we are drawing one keto group on second carbon, number of carbon will increase. Suffixes over. Do we have any other prefixes? Yes. 4-methyl. So on fourth carbon there is one methyl group. Nothing else. So what about the remaining carbon atoms? Definitely they will be singly bonded. Now satisfy the remaining valencies with hydrogen, that is CH3. So this carbon already 4 valencies over. CH. So writing structure from the name, it is easy. Hope it is clear to you. So this is about writing the IUPAC name and writing the structure of organic compounds. Okay. Now remember, when we write the IUPAC name, don't use alpha, beta, gamma, ortho, meta, para, then all these terms, because all these we are using only in common systems. And don't use normal, iso, neo. So alpha, beta, gamma, ortho, meta, para, iso, neo, all these are the terms that we use only in common system, not in IUPAC system. IUPAC system we have to use only numbers. Okay. Thank you.